Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife. We're early today. Now, can you believe that we are early? And the only reason we're early is because I had to go live immediately because I can't schedule a live shorter than 20 minutes in advance, and I forgot to do it when I was at home. So I'm here now. I'm with Carlos, he's my guest today. Nobody else turned up as yet, but you never know. Some people might turn up. If anybody's coming for Meetup Monday, speak now if I ever hold your peace. Okay. And here's Carlos, say hi.
Hey guys.
And we're going to talk today about Carlos's travels.
Yes.
And where he comes from and what he's been doing. And also we're going to talk about the new information about entry into Spain, which is, I'm telling you, I cannot find anybody who knows officially what's happening. But Carlos is a native speaker and we've gone through the Spanish now and I think we've got a handle on it. So it's not all bad news at the moment, but it could all change. So I'm not opening the room today for the reason I don't have my earphones on me, unfortunately. And of course we got guests, but we will be monitoring the chat. So hi Roger, hi Stuart, hi Charlie, hi Simon. And once I've shown you the details, I'll be able to monitor the chat on the other machine as well. Jay Steer, enjoying the sunshine in Sangre in Tenerife. What a lovely change from great cold UK, says Jay Steer. Walking tomorrow is anywhere near me between Fanya Bay and Del Duc. Send me an email if you can. Go to timothydown.com, send me an email. And I'm going out at 9 o'clock tomorrow and I don't know where. So if you tell me where you are, I'll swing by and we can go for a walk together. Okay. So, and in the email, give me your WhatsApp number because that's pretty immediate then. Or you can go to the About page on timothydown.com and my WhatsApp number's there. But don't tell anybody else, okay? Hi Tim and Carlos, says Tricia. Hi Tim and guest Carlos. Craig says, hope you're okay. Hugs okay. News from Christina. We both had our jabs yesterday. We had the booster jab in this arm and we had the flu jab in this arm. And Christina was okay. I had a bit of a weird night with weird dreams, but nothing drastic. Christina was okay until about lunchtime today. And then she lost the use of her hands for some reason. She couldn't pick anything up and she was totally drained of energy. So I put her in a chair and I said, come on, we've got to go out. And she says, do you mind if I don't go? So I called Carlos and I said, look, Carlos, I don't mind if you postpone now because Christina's not coming. And he says, I'm on the way, Tim. He says, don't worry, give our love to Christina. And I did, and she sends her love too. So she's sending love to everybody. And I'll give you an update on the community page, how she feels tomorrow. And then obviously she'll be in our house on Wednesday. So we'll just wheel her out to the thing. If it's your first time here, this is Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife. We've got a channel where we do live walks in the mornings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:55 and doing all different things. Wednesday being an important, very serious chat of balcony banter. Monday being an excuse for me to go out drinking. And Freaky Fridays, whatever you want it to be. Okay, so that said, Maria Albanos, we probably need you, Maria, in a few minutes because we're going to be reading some Spanish as well. And Anne-Marie Elton's on, Charlie's Heavy Snow in Manchester, Derek's on, cloudy and Lost Chris. We're quite good here, we're in between the clouds, I think. Better weather today, yep. Natalie's on, good evening. Tricia, JC, we've done that one. Okay, David Longden, hi. If I miss anybody, I do apologise. And Paz Doofer is going to be there next week. Cool dude. I know that Johnny Vlogger's coming next week, and I know that Tom and a friend are coming next week as well. So there might be quite a few people turning up next Monday. But today up to now, we just got one, which is good, because we want to concentrate on this, guys. We've been in contact for a year now.
Yes, yes. From the beginning of the pandemic.
From the beginning of the pandemic, we've been in contact here. And spoiler alert, we did, he's from here, right?
Yeah.
But he's lived away for a long time, that's all I'm going to say. And UK weather's a bit at the moment making me crave Tenerife, exactement. So let me introduce, let me get us both up here. So how do I do that? I'm going to use the twos up, so multi-view, two views. This one looks good. I'll do done. And then we'll go multi-view, I think A and B. And that is Carlos. Well, I got it right, I got it right. Hi, Carlos, how are you?
I'm okay.
Let me just
Nice
make sure
meeting
you're not muted. No, you're not muted, and I'm not
Okay.
muted. Minus 12, perfect.
Perfect.
So this is Carlos Vallejo.
Yes.
Vallejo, from,
The truth is, I was born in Madrid.
born in Madrid.
Yes, but my dad he was a neurosurgeon. So when I was a little boy, we moved. I mean, they moved the whole family to here to Tenerife. So I arrived here when I was 7 years old. All my other brothers and sisters, like little kids, babies, and that was in '75.
1975.
Yes,
Wow.
1975. I remember first time that I came here to the south. Well, just remember there was no highway. It was like only like a road.
Yeah, like you see on the TF1, you see that road going up and down and through. That's, yeah.
So imagine how it was. And there was no airport, no Reina Sofia,
No.
nothing.
Did you come on a guagua? Or did you have the?
No, in the car.
You had a car?
My dad, yeah, we have
They
a
were
car.
posh. You see, they
Yeah.
were posh.
So if you're familiar, pretty much it was Las Verónicas and Gran Tenerife. That was Las Americas, and then there was a road, small road to go to Los Cristianos. Not even like around, just over the volcano, right? And then that's it. That it was not even Ferry Gomera. There was no Ferry Gomera.
So did you buy any land at that moment in time?
No. So in that time it was like an adventure just to come to the south. But little by little, I think the main thing was a lot of people wanted to come to enjoy this weather.
Yeah.
And all the planes were arriving in the north. And I remember in '77 it was the big crash.
The crash, yeah.
And I think in a way it changed a lot of things because all those guaguas coming from that airport to here, it was a mess. It was impossible to sustain that.
For those of you who don't know what a guagua is, it's what they call the bus here, right?
Yeah, the bus, yeah. So I noticed right away the plans to create the airport in the south, and everything changed after that. But in that time, it was for me, the beginning of my idea of moving out of Tenerife in an adventure. I wanted to change things, and then you saw the beginning of the south. All the constructions and what you see right now. I think it still is going on. It's going to grow more. And I'll tell you later some changes that I see after the pandemic, how I believe this is going to be even bigger because the way how I see people working in Europe, now it's easier to come here to enjoy this and to live in a way easier.
So maybe more
for example,
workers.
yes, like I told you, I have some apartments. So I see that many of the new young people, they having a lot of difficulties in Europe in a way, the rents, the money that they're getting. So they realize that why not to try and come here, do some telework, and then trying to enjoy more what they were not enjoying before, or what they were enjoying only for a week or two.
Correct.
So many of the clients that we have now, they just come to check and see maybe a month, maybe we do a year. Those are the changes that I see now.
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the beginning. Carlos, thank you for coming. We'll be right back after this.
Okay.
Okay, we're back, and as I promised you earlier, I've got some news about the new updates. Now, I know that Lee is in Las Vegas and Andrew is in Florida, so they're probably not doing updates and that. I know that Dan is really busy and also Rick is really busy. So I decided to look this up, and I saw all the horror stories about children are not allowed to Tenerife in Christmas, I'm cancelling my holiday and everything like that. So I thought, well, that would be really nasty if the Spanish authorities did that. So I started looking into it, and they did two things over the weekend. They published a BOE, which is a Boletín Oficial de España, and this is the official bulletin of the Spanish government, and they changed two laws. One law was the amount of things that were on the law from the 17th of July 2020, which stopped third countries arriving into Europe. So if you were a third country, if you were not European, all the third countries had to have one of these things, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, to be able to enter the Schengen zone. And what they've done now, they've added one to that, a number K or a letter K. And what the K says is that it doesn't matter if you're what third country you are, if you have a vaccination certificate, you can come in. And this was as of the 1st of December 2021. You can arrive as long as you have a vaccination certificate, fully vaccinated with 2 jabs on a 2-jab vaccine and 1 jab on a 1-jab vaccine, and 14 days have passed since the last jab. That's
Yes.
very important. So that was the entry requirements into the Schengen zone. And then they changed another law, which was to do with the 3 documents that you need to enter. One of them is the vaccination document. The second one is a PCR test or a LAMP test or antigen test even. And the third one was that you had to have had COVID-19 and recovered with the recovery certificate. So there is the recovery certificate, the documentation certificate, and the vaccination certificate. These are the 3 certificates that you can use to get into the country. And there was a big thing about Great Britain being singled out as people that could only use the vaccination. And they said, only Great Britain has to be fully vaccinated, and they can't take a test anymore, and they can't we've had vaccination before. And that's have had COVID, so the COVID certificate, the recovery certificate, Brits cannot use. So you cannot come in if you've recovered and not been vaccinated. Okay, that's important. So the recovery certificate is no longer accepted for Brits only. The other 2, the vaccination certificate and the PCR certificate, I want to show you something here now. So this is the Spanish version, but we have a Spaniard with us today. So I'm going to just solo this one. This is the official government website, which says international travel and COVID-19 and traveling to Spain. That's the top left on here. So I'm not going to read it out in Spanish for you, but you can see that there is the first bit is, first of all, you go to País Tercero. I can't, it's just above the red bit. I can't point to it, unfortunately. But basically it says the process for third countries in the first place is to find out whether you can enter Spain or not. And if you click that link, it takes you to the control, the admissions for control. So if we go down, no, that's the wrong one, hang on. This one, third countries. And these are the things I was telling you about, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. J is a list of countries that are not included in this. And we used to be on it as the Great Britain, but we're not anymore. So Argentina, Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Chile, Colombia, all those countries can come. Or K, persons. Now I'm going to just change to English for this. It's easy just to change it to English for you guys. But what I'm saying is, the translation is weird. Oh, I'm trying to click. There we go, English. I'm pressing too fast. There you go. So you can get this in English, and this is what I'm going to do. If you want to come from a third country, which is the UK, you must first check if you have travelled to Spain in the button Entry Requirements for Spain and Third Countries, which is the entry requirements for entry into Spain from third countries. And you have to be a habitual resident, holder of a long-term visa, blah, 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 or on this list of countries, which we're not. K says, persons with a vaccination certificate that the Ministry of Health recognises for this purpose after verification by the health authorities, as well as their accompanying minors under 12 years of age. So anybody with a vaccination and their kids under 12, so up to 11 months and 30 days or whatever it is, they haven't reached their 12th birthday yet, they are all covered in your vaccination certificate. Right. In the case of people residing or persons residing in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland who come directly from the United Kingdom, they must also arrive in Spain with a vaccination certificate as of the 1st to the 12th. Now, that is weird, because if they're saying everybody has to have it and Britain has to have it, that's waste of time.
Yes.
Right? So why are they saying everybody's got to have it and Britain's got to have it? Or does that mean that Britain doesn't have to have it up until the 1st? So that could also be, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, are you still with me, guys? Are you still with me? So, this is very important here, that the only way to get into Spain is if you've got a vaccination certificate, and if you're British, if you have a vaccination certificate, which is stupid. Then, if we go back to the top, and it says now you've got to find the health control form and accepted certificates, which is the next section here. And if we look at this, all persons travelling to Spain from another country, including children of any age, travellers in transit, blah, 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 need to get a QR code. And then here are additional requirements for the EU digital COVID certificate, which does not affect Britain. And if we go down to other certificates, so the other certificate says passengers from third countries who meet the requirements to enter Spain, see section entry requirements. So that means if you have your, COVID vaccination certificate, right? Travel to Spain, any of the following certificates, as long as they meet the same conditions as the EU certificate. So you can have a certificate of vaccination, a negative diagnostic test, or a certificate of recovery. And then it says, attention, if you travel to Spain under point K of the section, entry requirements for Spain for third countries, you can only do so if you have a certificate of being fully vaccinated with an EMA OMS authorized vaccine and the last dose was administered more than 14 days ago. For persons resident in the United Kingdom or Great Britain and Northern Ireland coming directly from this country, in addition to the vaccination certificate, diagnostic certificates of NRRT tests, which are like the PCR test, will also be considered valid. Now, it says here that in the English version it says in addition to, and the Spanish word there is además. But además at the beginning of a sentence and también in the middle of a sentence is either or.
Yes.
Right? So when you're reading the Spanish version, it's sort of saying that, but if you come from Britain, we'll accept a PCR test as well. That's how I am interpreting this. Now, all the other media outlets have interpreted it differently. So when I'm the only person that's right, I look in the mirror and say, just a minute here, just a minute. Am I the only intelligent person on the planet? 9 times out of 10 I am, but I could be wrong. So, but I've asked a couple of native speakers, and reading the Spanish version, if the sentence starts with además and también's in the middle, then it's typically either or, right? Además, también. So either this or that. But the English translation, if I go back to the English translation, it says in addition to the vaccination certificate, which means you've got to have both. But that doesn't make any sense at all, because that means that you need a vaccination certificate and a PCR test, and they're not saying that. So either you need both, or it's either or, right? But right at the beginning of this, it says passengers from third countries who meet the requirements to enter, and the requirements to enter is you need a vaccination certificate. So you can't get round that, right? But this one is nullifying that by saying, but if you can't have that, you get this. So I'm waiting to get confirmation that this isn't going to change on Wednesday, which is possible. So they might just delete this. It just could be old information, right?
Yeah.
Because the one I had yesterday, everything was saying either or, but it changed this morning. So just keep an eye on this website. I'll link it downstairs in the description. I haven't done it just yet, but I'll link it in the description, and it is the official one. So basically, that's all I got to go. So that was a lot of words for nothing, really, wasn't it? A lot of words for nothing. Okay, so we're back. Let's do this. 1, 2. You and me are back online. So, is Spanish bureaucracy a thing?
It is. and I'm going to tell you like a little sample.
Uh-huh.
So I married my wife in New York, and I was divorced. So the divorce from my other wife, it took a month and a half. I'm here in Spain, and still after a year and a half ago, from the moment that I put my the papers, still I'm waiting for the answer to be official. It's a year and a half. So sadly, it's something that is back here. It's not just for anybody. It's me. I'm a Spaniard. I'm American too, but it happens everywhere. It's a problem that we have.
Okay, America. That's interesting. You haven't told people where you were for the last 30 odd years.
Exactly. So in in 86, I moved to New York. Why did I do that? Because I guess you were always looking for something. I moved to New York. I decided to stay. In a way, I got the papers as a gift to stay there because Ronald Reagan gave us all the amnesty in that time.
Okay.
So we got the papers there. And then I stayed there for all these years until 3 months ago. And, it's been great. I can't complain about my life in the United States. It's just that it comes a point where you had to move on because you're getting older. And then you realize that you cannot stay there any longer if you want to keep going. And I heard you so many times that you know a lot about the United States too, how life is there, and I have many points about it. I go back to see where in a way is part of my life, but right now I think this is the place where I have to be in this island.
Okay. Now, we stayed 5 years in America, not as long as you.
Yeah,
we were
but
in
it was
Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, but it's a long time.
And in Richmond, Virginia, it was quite funny actually because it was exactly as I'd envisaged it.
Really?
It was like all the wires along the highway, and Denny's every 5 minutes, and Kroger and all that. 24-hour markets.
That is one of the things that I never understood. I believe it's business because the more lines that you have hanging from house to house, the more chances that you have to fix things. Like in winter, right? We will get like ice storms.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And then
right?
the power would go out.
The power. I'm in New York, and you know how many times I lose the power.
Third world country.
So exactly. So somebody has to come from Texas to fix. So I waited for like a day or two with no power. Sometimes some sections of where we're living, weeks and weeks with no power. And instead of fixing everything from the beginning, no way. They will put more and more lines. Imagine here, you just come here I'm like facing now and watching the La Gomera, but in front of me there are like 1,000 lines from this building to that building.
But we loved that. We loved that. We thought it was totally American,
Yes, it is.
And we enjoyed that. And also eating out was good, and golfing at the weekend was good. And the best thing I found was the lack of news, the lack of international news.
Yes.
It was basically dog bites man in Powhatan County, more at 11, and then at 11 it never came.
And some gossip.
Yeah. So there was no news at all. So you really couldn't worry about anything.
I mean, you know that they really enjoy the news from the monarch in England. All those kind of gossip news.
When Princess Di died, people came to me with commiserations.
Yes.
As if I was a neighbor or something.
Yeah.
And so I would just take the commiserations, but they were really heartfelt. It's like, I'm so sorry. It's like your queen.
Yeah, believe me, I read every day the New York Post or Daily News, and there's always 2 or 3 news about the royal family and what is happening. And every day there's something that we find out through the American newspapers.
But you find that you got to read a lot of different newspapers to get the world view.
Yes.
So your wife is.
My wife is Russian.
So does she read Russian newspapers?
Yes, that's what she is into the Russian, life. She reads a lot of, it's not easy to find the right version when it comes from Russia. So She
Hey,
knows.
it's not just Russia, mate.
But it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's not just. I mean, Fox News and CNN or the Daily Mail
That
and the
is, you
Guardian.
sit in front of the
it's-
TV,
yeah,
and it's like two different countries.
It is two different countries, yeah.
The news, and here is the same. You know where to go. But
Just don't watch the news. That's what
no,
it is.
I know. It's like a,
Or read everything and then make your own mind up.
exactly.
You know, there's going to be some sort of kernel of truth somewhere.
And think, you know, I mean, I'm not like, I'm tell you, you know, where I was working and the people that are, but you try to be in the middle, trying to, you know, not to be in the Republican or right stream side, or you don't want to be, you know, in the left communist. Just try to be in the middle and try to understand what it comes to you. And in the United States, it's very difficult.
Well, there's actually I read there was actually a way that you can move the middle. And so what happens is the right wingers do something really, really bad, really sort of like bordering on Nazism, right?
Yeah.
And then they sort of backpedal on it and, oh, we didn't mean that and all that. But when you come back to normality, the middle has changed.
Yes.
So the middle is moving to the right in all the whole world now.
Yeah.
And there's a name for it. I just can't remember. I'll see if I can get it and I'll tell you on Wednesday what the name is. But you're right. You try and sort of like look at both sides,
Yes.
but the polarization's already happened.
It is.
I mean, in Germany, where Christina comes from, they have coalition governments. In fact, they've just formed the coalition government about a year after the election anyway, right? Or 6 months after the election. They just formed a coalition government, which looks like a good government for the change in the EU, you know, to change the EU. But they've got to get all sides on that, and they've all got to agree. That's why things don't happen as fast.
Yeah.
But you get places like Britain where it's like a two-party system. You get America, two-party system. You've really got to have this polarization, the us and them. You know, you're in or you're out, you're right or you're left.
Yes.
And that's a shame, really. I'm going to go and order another beer, so we'll be right back. Otra jarra, por favor. Gracias. Forgot to mute myself. Well, at least I haven't forgot to unmute myself. Unless I was totally muted for the last 20 minutes, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Okay, let's have a look at some of the questions we got, yeah? Una's saying hi. Sorry, missed the last 5 minutes. Been messaging Kevin, the Scotsman in Tenerife. Okay. Anne's saying that's the way it was before, Pete. Okay. Causing havoc at an appointment with us. Okay, they're talking amongst themselves, which is good. I thought all 12-year-olds had to be double jabbed, which is very unlikely they will be. But yeah, I mean, basically that's what Section K says. Everybody's got to be double jabbed if you're 12 or over. But in the second section, it says, but Britons can have either or. And I just want another person to confirm that. I mean, Carlos has confirmed the Spanish.
Yes.
And that it means either or.
Yeah.
But the beginning of that section, it does also say if you comply with K, which you don't if you've not been vaccinated. So it's just weird. I just don't know why they did it like that. I travel Friday, get in with only double test certificate. See, that's the question. If you read it and it's either or, then yes. If you read it and you need both, then no, you need a PCR. So I would really get somebody to write, yes, you can with just this if you're from Britain, because it's really weird. I was done within 30 minutes. Everybody's talking about the vaccination. Dun Trucking didn't understand that. It's all gobbledygook. Even the most academic wouldn't understand that, says Maria, and she's Spanish. So, yeah, we think we've got a handle on what it means, but we don't have anybody in power that is sort of ratifying that to say, you know, hey, look, if you come from Britain, all you need is a double jab or a PCR. I want somebody to say that. Or this means you have to be vaccinated and PCR test, or they say, oh, that's out of date, we didn't mean that. So if you're double jabbed, don't forget you got to wait 14 days before it's valid here, though. Very confusing, everybody's saying. Very tired, flu-like system, yeah. You would need a Philadelphia lawyer. We have to have our COVID travel pass and Spain travel health pass. We have to register PCR test on return. Yeah, I know that Britain have sort of said you can't get back into Britain without a 2-day test, and you've got to quarantine. So what you've got to do, you've got to go on the plane with everybody, get off the plane with everybody. You've got to go to passport control with everybody, go and collect your bags with everybody. Then you've got to infect everybody in the bus or the train or the taxi on the way home. Then you've got to go and get your essentials because you've been on holiday, right, to the supermarket. And then you've got to go down the pub while you want a pint of Watney's Red Barrel, right?
Yeah.
And then you go home and isolate until your PCR test arrives. I mean, it's just laughable, isn't it, really?
It's everywhere.
Yeah. Had a booster this morning. Got a sore arm. I actually got a sore arm there from yesterday, but that was about it. It affects everybody differently, yeah. Everybody else, somebody's got boosters there. Everybody's saying Pete. Hey, Danny's on. Denny, sorry, not Danny. Denny's on. Moira's there. Cliff, Anne-Marie, Tina Rigby. Everybody's saying hi to Moira. Everybody's saying hi to Lillian. Tina. Louis Alvarez, hola Tim Maria, everybody here. Hey, Louis. Richard Walton, I know that guy, back in freezing UK. Well, I did say he could stay. He's got a place in Playa de San Juan.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Today was beautiful.
Okay, Tony Such is on. Do you get anybody else? Stuart Adams, thank you so much for your support, Stuart. And Paz due for be there next week. Have we done that one? Oh, Stuart Adams, there we go. New comments. I think the Spanish government should simplify the rules for us Brits. Joe Blogs, haha. Really feel sorry for families that have had their travel plans ruined. You know, that's what really annoys me, because if I'm reading it right, their travel plans aren't ruined. Yeah, all they need to do is to get a PCR test for the kids, right? 12 to 15, or for anybody who's not vaccinated.
That's for sure.
But the section 1 says you have to be vaccinated, or you have to be on this list, or you have to be this and that and the other. But the section 2 says if you come from Britain, you just need a vaccination certificate or a PCR test. And that's what I don't understand. Received an official email from the UK government, states everyone is... Yeah, you see, the thing is, an official statement from the UK government doesn't mean anything talking about Spanish law.
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything. It's somebody's interpretation of Spanish law. And everybody's interpreted like that. But Spanish people reading the Spanish version interpret it the other way. So what's right? Just thought you could have the flu and booster injection and mixed with each other inside caused Christina to be unwell. You know, if she'd have had it in the other arms, that'd have been all right. I think what it is I think it was just too much for her system. The whole thing was just too much for her system. And she's okay. She's okay. She just can't move, and she's having trouble picking stuff. Oh, she's always had trouble picking stuff up, but this was really bad today. I even left her with half an apple so she wouldn't get hungry till I got home, and she couldn't even put that in her mouth. So I had to sort of cut it into bits for her. But anyway, but she'll be okay. She will be okay. I had my booster last week. No side effects. Not even a sore arm. Jill, well done. I mean, mine's not sore. It's just if you touch it, it's tender. I mean, it's not sore at all. Just thought the flu. Yes, they're saying UK you needed to be double vaccinated to travel abroad. You need to be double vaccinated to travel to the Schengen area. If we go to Hello Canarias, that was updated on the 26th, which is when the thing came out. But they might have updated it today now. That is also the official hellocanarias.com. And if I go to COVID-19, entry to Spain, traveling to the Canary Islands, there you go. So what they got here now is who can visit the Canary Islands, and this was updated, this is still updated on the 26th, so I don't know whether that's going to be any good for us. But it does say there are any special procedures to complete. If you travel from the high-risk area outside Spain, which Britain is not, you have to do the Spanish health form, and 48 hours following arrival you may have to do a test if you arrive. You need a vaccination certificate or a COVID diagnostic test or recovered from COVID-19. People travelling from the UK cannot use this option, it says here. So that has been updated, that the UK cannot use the option had COVID. So it still does say that all you need is either or vaccination certificate or diagnostic certificate So that is actually mirroring what the Spanish people understand. So I just want somebody to come out and say it. And I know the government has written in their gov.uk, but right at the top it says is a disclaimer, which says this changes on a regular basis. So go here to find out, and links the page I just showed you. Not this one, the official one there. So I'm passing the COVID right now with my wife. No family reunions, no restaurants with a complete vaccination. Mysterio. Yeah, I mean, basically we try to keep ourselves to ourselves. I go shopping and I do Monday meetup, but that's about it really. I wear my mask if I'm within 1.5 meters of people I don't know, to basically to stop them getting sick. And I saw a good picture today. I don't know if I've still got it. There we go. So this one is basically, so if you're talking to somebody without masks, there's a 90% risk of you getting infected if one of you's got it. If you're wearing a mask and they've got it, there's a 30% risk of getting it. If the person who's got it is wearing a mask and you don't wear a mask, there's a 5% risk. If you're both wearing masks, it's 1.5% risks. And if you're both wearing masks and you're 6 feet apart, there is 0 risk of getting it. So if you just keep 6 feet away from people and wear a mask, you're done. You know, theoretically. And I know there's people there that don't believe that, so that's also okay. That's a valid belief, like every belief is valid. Hey Kevin, hi Tim, thanks for your info and help, certainly complex. I just have an email from Jet2 confirming travel requirements have changed to Spain, need to be fully vaccinated. You know, Cleo's actually meeting with Jet2 tonight and doing they've got some sort of thing going on, and she's doing translating, and Jet2's going to be there, so she's going to try and interview somebody, or at least find out what's going on there. But reading the Spanish, it still says that Brits can come with either or, but nobody's coming out and saying it, and everybody else who's not Spanish, if you like, is saying what, you know, the Canarian Weekly said, which is, you know, they've only read the one half of it and they haven't read the other half, or they've read the other half and not understood, or they've read the other half in English, which means including. But then they would say, if they're saying including, then you would need both certificates. You need a vaccination and a PCR test, if it meant that. So I really don't know what's going on. If you read, I've got to get this right. If you read the second part to be además, you need both vaccination and a PCR test, or either or, then there is no other option. So therefore the option is you just need a fully vaccinated is wrong anyway, you know. Hi Kevin, I hope that we get something for you guys before Wednesday anyway, which is the 1st of December, and I hope by then it's cleared up. And I hope that people who are cancelling holidays because they don't think the kids are going to be able to come, I hope there's a way back if we find out that it is true what I'm saying. But as I said, if I'm the only person saying it in a room where everybody's saying no it isn't, then, you know, I've got to think that maybe I'm wrong. But if there's a glimmer of hope, I will still keep plugging until somebody clears it up. Okay, let's go back to Carlos. Carlos, you've been sitting there patiently.
Your listening is so important because so many people are planning to come to Tenerife, to the Canary Islands.
And your job now includes that, right?
Yes.
So like tell us a little bit about what you do.
So, what I own some apartments here that I rent through Airbnb. We also administrate, in a way, others Europeans apartments. So what we do, we use mainly Airbnb or Booking to rent our apartments, and I really enjoy. I mean, I meet a lot of people. They arrive. We try to help them the best that we can. Try to show them plans or what to do around the islands if they ask for any questions. So because I was working in a hotel in New York, so for me it's a continuation of what I was doing before. Just trying to prolong my hospitality knowledge with, this time with my business in a way. And that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Thank you for that. Just a couple of things coming in here. One guy, Chris Stewart, says the Spanish embassy in Manchester have an article which says that from the 1st of December, people from the UK 12 years and over need a vaccine. PCR not accepted. Do you know better than them? I actually only know what I read, and I'm reading 2 articles which conflict. So maybe they haven't read the second article, or maybe they know something I don't. I don't know. And so, yeah, we'll have to find out there. And Bob says, this time next week, you'll find the government will move the goalposts again. So you're probably right there.
The funny thing that if you allow me, I don't think that they allow kids over 12. I think it has to be under 18 here to be vaccinated. So it's so funny that they will ask that to kids from England, but not to people.
But we are actually vaccinating 12-year-olds now, apparently.
Here in Spain?
Yeah. I think they changed that so you can.
It will be like some days ago.
So, but I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not saying. I just say that from what I've read, it's open to interpretation. That's all I'm saying. And until it is no longer open to interpretation, I will continue to question it. So I think it's only fair that I do that for you guys, you know, because I don't want you guys cancelling your Christmas holiday because your kids between 12 and 15 can't get it because they can't be vaccinated. You know, and even if you organise the vaccine right now, you still got to wait 14 days after the final one, and you can't have the final. You can't have 2 straight away. So the first one you got to wait 3 months for the second one. So you missed out anyway. You know. So, but if there is a chance of you coming over with the kids, then I would prefer it. Now, obviously, Spain is worried that these new variants are going to come in, and also they're saying we're going to protect ourselves and we're prioritizing security over business, right? Which I think is a good thing. Not a lot of countries are doing that at the moment. A lot of countries are ignoring the security and the health of their people to benefit business. But Spain's doing it, and some people might say they're cutting off their own nose to spite their face, but I think in the long run, I'm glad that I live here. Yeah, because I think
we feel like very open and free in the way.
Yeah. See you on Johnny Cycle 3 or a troublemaker. Okay, well, Sarah Thomas, don't worry about it. We don't talk about people like that on this channel, and even if they're troublemakers, we don't talk about them. Impossible for kids 12 to be fully vaccinated, most are just the first jab. That's true. I wish I had a jab. I'll have an E-type, please. I'll have an E-type jab. They say there's cases of this new variant, but they don't say any other information about how ill they'll get or whether they're jabbed or information. Pete and Shell, you're right. A lot of the media, when you say they say, you're always talking about the media. Yes. You're always talking about the people who want to tell you something to control you. So that's why it's important to get your information from multiple sources and not just stick to one. I mean, I got a load of people on Facebook sending me stuff from the government.uk, and every time they sent it, the page had changed. Yeah. I've got screenshots. Oh my God. I've got screenshots of the government interpreting Spanish law 3 different ways. And so what you've got to do, just for an article in the embassy in Madrid, which also you need vaccine, airlines are saying the same. I know everybody's saying that. That's why I'm so pissed off, for want of a better word, that the Spanish government have got these 2 sections in the same document which tells you otherwise, I mean, if everybody's saying that only the first one's valid, why have they got the second one in there? That's what I want to know. And if it's wrong, and they say, oh, we shouldn't have done that, or that should have been deleted ages ago, or that will be deleted on December the 1st, but it's even saying from December the 1st, this is valid. Yeah. So I really don't understand it. It does not help when the British media put out half information scare stories. I think that's the job of the media, is to put out half information and scare stories, because the media is there to control you. It's not there to inform you. It used to be, but it is no longer there to do that. It is there to control you, so just stop consuming it. The Wi-Fi wasn't working last night, so I started talking to the missus. Interesting to find out that she no longer works at Woolworths. It's a place that's been shut down ages. Really? British to wear masks at all times, including children. Yeah, we got that information. We got that British have got to wear masks all the time.
But they don't.
No, but that's the law now. It's coming in the law. But it isn't really, because I think if you read it, it's only in public places like shops and taxis and public transport, they don't have to wear it on the street and stuff. But they say you should do, but they don't have to do that. So there's a lot of things that we all hear and read and say, and unless you can get to the committee that came up with the thing in the first place, you're not going to get it really. You're not going to get it. The doc in SA that discovered the new variant says there's only mild symptoms and not even a loss of taste or cough, said Alan Gebby.
I read that too. Like
Yeah.
everybody says, like, it's so mild, and look what we're doing. Again,
You know, when I first started doing this, I was informing people to keep them safe, and now I've got to the stage where it's just too much.
yeah.
It is too much. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I will have the vaccine because I've had the flu vaccine as well in this arm, right? So the thing is, the flu vaccine is changed every year, right? Because there's a different strain of flu every year. So when people come and say, I'm not having the vaccine because it's only been developed for a year, well, so's the flu vaccine, you know, every year it changes. So I trust it, you know? And the thing is, if you get it and you still get the flu, then it'd probably be a milder form. But unfortunately, it's like going two different ways. You know, you can't say, I'll send half my body this way and half my body that way and see which is shorter. You can't do that with that thing. What else you get for Christmas?
Is so the day that I think everything changed in March 14 of 2020.
Yeah.
So I was in New York, and my family, you know, we had a trip to Amsterdam the next day. I remember it was a Friday. The next day we had the planes, everything ready. That Friday, Trump canceled and decided to close the airports and do everything, right? So we had to cancel the plane, the trip. So that's 1 year. The next year we couldn't do it. I mean, it's this year. So we were talking to do it again now in March. And I heard that Amsterdam and Holland is closing everything again. So we already got all the notifications from our rental place in Amsterdam that they're closing again. So my question is, it's 2 years already like this. So many lives, kids that were supposed to go to schools, businesses, and so many things that need to move on. And again, before Christmas, because there's some news that are pushing everybody to close everything again for no reason.
Yeah, but don't think, I mean, I've got a theory about this as well. It's a conspiracy theory, so don't take any notice of what I'm saying. But I got a theory about this as well, that there is a move to getting people to work online. There is a move to getting people to shop online.
Yes.
There is a move to everything to get online. There are also moves to get identification. Now, Britain is typically the country that doesn't have ID cards.
Yes.
I don't know if America does or not.
They don't.
No, so Britain and America don't have ID cards, and that's why they can't control the borders, right?
Yes.
So I think it'll come to a situation where you're going to have to accept ID cards.
Yeah.
You're going to be shopping online. You're going to be working online. And with automation, I mean, this has been going since the 60s now. Automation now is ramping up exponentially in all sectors. So even like your financial advisor is going to be automated away. You know, so even the good jobs.
Yes.
You know, so doctors diagnosing. So only doctors that actually hands-on do stuff are going to be there. Your GP is out of a job. You know, in the future, because all you got to do is punch in your symptoms, and the automatic learning, the AI, will tell you what's up with you. You know, you'll have a chip implanted in that'll do all your blood work. You can put a thing in your ear, it'll take everything, temperature, your alpha waves in your brain, and it'll tell. So diagnostic medicine is going to go away. So all GPs need to start specializing now. You know, and it's only the people that actually go in and do the operations. Oh, don't we have robots to do that? You know, I mean, so yeah. So the future is coming to us at a great rate, and we need to prepare for it. And we're not, basically. Well, we are actually, because we're just sat at home on our couches going like this through our machines, which is exactly what they want us to do. And you're watching this on TV or on your tablet or on your phone. And if you do like the content, please like and subscribe. I've had lots of people unsubscribing lately because it's not a lot. I mean, there's more people subscribing than unsubscribing.
Yes.
But I'm getting people unsubscribing, so I'm pushing the right buttons, I think. If I'm offending people, I'm doing a good job. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to get back to Chris because I'm not worried about her, but I said I'd be home early. It's 18:41 now. I said I'd be home before 7:30, but I think I'll probably get home a little bit earlier than that. So I'm going to just go straight through and read some of the comments here. Kevin's just said something there. Crazy thing is Boris is still not staying work from home. It's that serious, why not urge people to stay away from others? Mixed messages, no masks in nightclubs and pubs, but you need one to go to the shops. You know, don't get me started. Have you heard of the metaverse, Tim? I have actually. That's they coined the phrase from Facebook, right? Unfortunately, Facebook is behind the curve because Apple is much further ahead in augmented reality and virtual reality. So I think you might see something. I think the metaverse is going to go the way of Netscape, and that the Apple AR and VR are going to be the things to watch. I'm not saying I'm an Apple fanboy anyway, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't do Facebooky type stuff. But basically, in Facebook, you're the product. So if you want to use Facebook, that's fine, but just know that you are the product, not anything else. And but the metaverse is something that's going to come, I think. And for people like Chris, it's great because she says she can just sit in a chair and plug in and be what she wants. You know, she can go flying in the Andes or she do anything. So I think I'm not sure it's a bad thing for that. But we're going to go now. So I'm just going to hold the last word over to Carlos here. So thank you for coming, Carlos.
It's a pleasure. I mean, such a long time.
Are you actually in the south more often, or you?
No, when I come to work.
Okay, but you go home at night.
Yes, I have
And
to.
home is
In Puerto La Cruz.
Puerto de la Cruz,
Yeah.
and that takes you how long in a car?
Oh, like an hour.
Do you go around Santa
No,
Cruz?
I enjoy going through.
You enjoy going over El Tanque?
Because, yeah, El Tanque, I love El Tanque. I love Santiago del Teide, the little town. You see how many people go through.
Santiago del Teide, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure everything is going to change once that we get the tunnel right there.
It's only 23 kilometers, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's
left,
like
and then we got the Anillo. The
exactly.
Anillo is the ring road.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing, yeah.
Yeah, 5 kilometers tunnel, like one of the biggest in Europe.
Yeah. So we've got 23 kilometers of road and 5 kilometers of tunnel to do,
Yes.
and then we'll have the Anillo.
Anillo.
And then you go all around the island at 80 kilometers an hour. No, I think it's 120, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it'll
Mostly
be easier
120.
to go to the north, so...
Mostly 120. Yeah. Okay, so ladles and jelly spoons, thank you for coming. Don't forget, on Wednesday we have Balcony Banter with Juliani Lindell and Ian. Ian is still on the island, but I think he might be joining us remotely if he can. And on Freaky Friday this week, I'm going to see if I can take Christina with me. If she's not up to it, then I'll just go down in the village. And if not, we'll go somewhere. And if you're out and about on Friday and you want to meet up, I'll tell you where I'm going to be and you can come and say hello. But tomorrow morning, if you want to go for a walk, I think I'm going Fania Bay Del Duc tomorrow, if I get the message. And if you want to go somewhere Wednesday or Thursday on a walk with me, let me know where you are and I'll swing by and we can walk around and interview you there. So that's pretty good. I know that I'm pretty bad with the walks. Sometimes if I've had too much to drink, then I'll sort of say, oh, I forgot, or I'm tired or whatever. But I will try and do 3 walks this week. Can't guarantee it though, but there you go. Although I'm not drinking at home at the moment. So I'm Tim and tonics at home in the morning. But that's blowing me up. It is blowing me up, yeah. So thanks, Carlos, for coming.
My pleasure.
And
See
I'm
you
going to go
again.
solo mio. Whoa, solo mio. And I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife. Google thinks you might like this one next. And if you want to support the channel, you can go to our webpage and you can support the channel here. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe for free right here. And we'll see you in the next one. This is Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife and Carlos saying goodnight. Bye. 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, 4,000.